This video, we are going to discuss about the distribution system in water supply. Usually in town, what are the distribution system? How the water is usually distributed. We are going to discuss in this video. This is the simple definition of water distribution system. It says that uh, it is the part of water supply network. Water distribution system comes under water supply network. It has different components like pumps, like valves, and which carries potable water. Potable water means which is good for drinking water purposes, right? And after the water is treated with the various process like aeration, filtration, chlorination, right? After that process, it is called treated water. Like after treated water, the good water is usually stored in storage tank, right? And the storage tank is directly it is delivered to the residential areas or commercial areas or industrial areas or for different emergencies like firefighting, right? Here is the figure. Source is shown. After the source, we have studied. After the intake, it is furtherly gone to treatment plant. Here we treat the water. After treatment plant, it goes to storage tank, right? We store water here, and when it's the time of use, we supply to the areas where water is usually used. This pipe is called mains, and after this, the pipe which goes to every doors of the house are called distributaries. Here, pumps and bulbs are provided at various location of water distribution system. Usually pumps are used for uh, transmitting the water from lower level to higher level. Bulbs, they regulate the flow of water. Requirement of good distribution system. The continuity in the power supply must be ensured. The system should be reliable. We must have that belief that we can rely on that distribution system. The efficiency of line must be high as possible. The supply lines, the year obviously lines means supply lines. The system should be safe from consumer point of view. There should not be any leakage, so that flow will be always regular. Must be reliable even at maintenance period as well. During maintenance period also we must, like, from consumer point of view, we must get proper water. The layout should not affect the appearance of the site or locality. It should not appear the beauty, right? This should be economical. The money should not be that high so that distribution system would become costlier, right? And it should be safe against future pollution, right? It should not be laid over sewer lines as far as possible. The lines where the harmful particles, harmful sewerage that comes from residential areas, industrial areas, right, should not affect the distribution system, and it should not be laid over the sewer lines, right? Water distribution system, it should have separate line and it should not come in contact with those type of sewer lines so that the distributed water will not come in contact with those sewer lines. Distribution system, like in distribution system there are three types of system: gravity, pumping, and dual system. Gravity with usually follows the rule of gravity. Pumping where pumps are required. Dual system where both types of systems are required. And further we will discuss about the videos and figures and all, but this distribution system is required usually to reach each and every consumer of every town and every city and at every places. System or gravity feed or gravity system is a use of earth gravity to move something, usually a liquid, from one place to another. It is the simple means of moving liquid without use of pump. Gravity system. In this gravity system there consists of spring tank, uh, main pipeline where spring tank storage is done, main pipeline, including pipe bridge. There are series of pipes which can hold the pipe. It's called breeze, reservoir tank, and distribution network that leads to tap of each and out. Distribution network we have seen already in the figure. We will see in the figure right now. Right. In gravity system, there should not be air locks. Air blockage should not occur in that. The method works as long as spring tank is highest point in the system. The storage is at highest point and the supply is below that level. In these those type of systems are known as gravity system. We will see that in next figure, right? The distribution system also uses gravity to move water to the taps through thinner pipes, right? Gravity method, which is the system which uses gravitational method, right? Here it is the water which is called treated water from a water treatment plant, and it is stored here, right, for some time. After some time, when there is a requirement of distribution, we have here next pipe, service tank, right? We cannot flow the water in a haphazard way. We should give the water for particular time, particular purposes, so the service tank is given. After that, through gravitational flow, water goes to different supply area. The level of the storage tank where water is stored is very high than the supply level. Gravity system works in this way. Here are the advantages of gravity system. Here, no energy is required because it is conveyed by gravity. No pumps are required because it is usually for limited parts or limited uh, area. Similarly, construction, operation, and maintenance are simple for this gravity system. But disadvantages, like it is not applicable for flat terrain, like usually in Tara areas it is not good, right? Or when there is elevated source, it is not suitable for that places. And similarly, water leakage is high in this because the water constantly flows at same constant pressure, right? So that water leakage is usually seen in these type of system. Usually all type of pumping systems doesn't contain any type of storage, so that in this screen you have seen that it is without storage system. But in this type of modern pumping system, storage are given. uh, Usually if pumping fails, then there will be complete stoppage of water. Pumping is the main source. Pump technical thing is main important here. This method is usually not used, right? But we have the figure pumping method. Similarly, water from treatment plant, storage tank, and directly it is directly sent to the water supplied area. Likewise, in gravity system, we had service tank, but we here we don't have any type of service tank. Directly, it's gone to pumping, and water which flows through pumping, and it goes to directly supply area. Right? Water pump plays a vital role here in pumping system. In pump system, likewise, the advantages of pump system are water can be pumped only when required. It's the advantage, right? There will not be any water loss, right? Because there won't be any loss. Similarly, we have very disadvantages of this type of system. Direct pumping at a uniform rate is not able to meet varying water demand and maintain required water pressure. Varying at water consumption, the consumption may not be um, applicable for each and every member of the family or each and every people living in that society, right? So that direct pumping may not be good suitable because this required the pressure which may vary from the rate of consumption. Likewise, if the system fails or if the power fails, there will not be any supply. Maintenance and operations are obviously high because it requires very technical maintenance, right? Similarly, inflow of water through leaks may cause water contamination during non-pumping hours, right? The water which is sent for flow may be returned back when there is no pumping, which may affect the system. Dual system. Dual system is also called combined gravity and pumping system, right? It can be used for elevated reservoir or from directly pumping reservoir, right? Dual distribution system involve the use of water supplies from two different sources in two different distribution network, like we already uh, understood. These two types of system work independently. They don't have contact. Dual distribution system are usually used to supply potable water through one distribution network and non-potable water through other. For drinking purposes, we send the water for one distribution network, and next which is not suitable for drinking purposes, which we use the next distribution network, because this is called dual system, right? The system would be used to augment public water supplies by providing untreated or poorly treated water for purposes other than drinking, right? On the basis of use of people, on the basis of purpose it is used, like on the basis of by the people they use the water, the system is separated. Such purposes may include firefighting, sanitary flushing, street cleaning, like irrigation or other ornamental gardens.
In dual system, sources of water and service reservoir. This works as pump system. This works as gravity system. Now here is intake pump, pump house, through which here is town pumping system is working here, and similarly here gravity system is working here. Sorry. This is clear water reservoir. Water is collected and it is pumped through this. Similarly, static water head. It is the distance between the lower water surface to the top of the tower. Static water head, right? It is the level given, and the between the distance between the static water head and maximum drift, right? In figure it is shown clearly. You can see the distance between static water head and the distance between maximum draft. Maximum draft means maximum demand, right? Maximum demand or maximum supply, we can say maximum demand. The distance between maximum demand and top of the static water head, it is called head loss. Head loss means energy loss. And the distance between the lower surface level to maximum draft or maximum demand, it is called effective head, right? The supply which is good, it is effective head. In this person energy is lost, and this is static water head. Service reservoir, right? This is showing gravity system, whereas this process is showing pumping system. Similarly, this has advantage and disadvantages. Advantage, it has the system is more reliable and can manage with fluctuation of water demand. uh, Pumps is given here so that there is higher efficiency, and economy of operation may be reduced, right? And it can be benefited by both the ways. Reasonable pressure can be maintained, right? If we require to supply more water, we can give more pressure. Similarly, we can give less pressure if there is less demand, and there is no possibility of inflow of polluted water in the system, right? If the water is polluted inside the distribution system, we can clear it directly, so that there is no inflow system, right? And disadvantages is initial cost is very high because it includes both the system, and comparatively higher loss due to leakage wastage, right? Leakage and wastage disadvantage is there, we can say, so that the complications is seen during the construction of dual systems.
Water storage or reservoir. Mm, the tank or device in which water is collected and stored is called reservoir. There are two types of reservoir: clear water and service. Clear water is the first storage, which is directly connected to the water treatment, right? After the water is treated, it is collected as a water treat clear water reservoir. Until water is pumped or conveyed to distribution chamber, it is stored in this process, and it may be stone or RCC, right? Stone masonry or RCC. Similarly, service or distribution reservoir, this is the reservoir which comes after the clear water reservoir, and this is the reservoir which is ready for supply according to the demand, right? Or during emergencies like breakdown and repairs. Service reservoir is just before the distribution system. I mean, just before giving the water to the consumers, water is stored in a place or in a tank. It is called service reservoir. The reservoir in which storage of water is done in order to meet the variation of demand during the different hours of day is called balancing reservoir, right? It comes under the service reservoir. The reservoir in which water is stored for the maintenance uh, or for network of failure of the pump is called breakdown reservoir. Similarly, the storage tank where quantity of water is stored for fire activity is called fire reservoir. After the clear water reservoir, we can give different tanks and we can particularly use for various types of reservoirs. Purpose of distribution reservoir, right? It stores treated water and supply water is a requirement during the peak demand or during the fluctuation in demand as well. It makes possible to supply water at the time of maintenance of treatment plant or transmission line, right? During the maintenance work also it can supply water and it can help for distribution. It reduces the pressure on various appliances and installation. It brings economy in distribution system by reducing pressure and size of the pipe, right? Distribution reservoir helps in reducing pressure and size of the pipe. It supplies water during emergencies like fire and during breakdowns, right? It reduces the pressure fluctuations and maintain uniform pressure. Distribution chambers uh, usually facilitates us for this type of points. Reservoirs may be RCC, stone masonry, brick masonry, PCC or steel. The reservoir should be um, should cover avoid contamination and algal growth. It should not be contaminated as well. There should be provision of inlet, right? Water come inside, outlet water comes outside. Manual, man can insert and do possible maintenance work. Water level indicator, ventilation, access ladders, we can go through access ladders, scour and overflow arrangements. This type of things should we have to keep in mind while constructing the reservoir. Similarly, types of service reservoirs on the basis of giving service, I mean on the basis of location or position from the ground. Reservoirs are like two types: surface reservoirs and elevated reservoirs. Usually elevated reservoirs it focuses on gravity system, whereas surface reservoir it usually focuses on pump system, right? Pumping system. Surface reservoir may be circular or rectangular, right? They are built at or below ground level and therefore are also called ground reservoir. Also, surface reservoir are also called ground reservoir because they are constructed below the ground level. The reservoirs are located in higher elevation than targeted distributed area, right? They are constructed in certain elevation, certain height, so that they may be supplied under gravity. If reservoirs are located at lower elevation, then pumping should be used, right? We can use pumping as well if it is given at certainly elevation. Similarly, elevated reservoirs, they are constructed above the ground level, right? They may be circular, rectangular, egg shaped, spherical, elliptical. These are the shapes. They are made from RCC or steel, right? Then there should be provision of inlet, outlet, manual, water level indicator, ventilation, and similarly as well. Like on the basis of construction, these are the reservoirs that has been classified. Thank you for this session. In upcoming session, we will study about the layout of distribution system and the possible questions will be shown in that video at the end. Thank you, everyone.